Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome. Swamp Maid, I see you. I am Christine B. Welcome so much. If you're here on Facebook this afternoon and you would like to be recognized, please definitely send us a comment. It's a little bit different from Instagram where people names popped up and we're able to say hello to them. Hello, Lewis. I'm going to wave at a couple of people. I see you, KPZ. Great to have you on, Alicia. I did mention Isaac. FANMNWA. Welcome. So we're giving some people more time to come on. I'm going to press a couple of sends to remind people that we're here today to play Jeopardy Noir. Hello, Miss Samuels. Great to have you each and every week. It's good to see you. Hello on Facebook. Hester Samuels, great to have you here each and every week joining with us. Like I also say to everyone at this time, please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Let them know that we are here, and this is a great opportunity to test your knowledge, or if you like to just sit in on the fun. We're glad to have each and everyone here each week for Jeopardy Noir. If you're here for the first time, I'm broadcasting on two stations. Two social platforms. I have Facebook to my left, so if you see me looking this way, I'm talking to the Facebook camera, and I have Instagram to my right. When you see me looking this way, you see I'm talking to Instagram. All right, welcome. All right, Mr. Brandon says he's back and he's ready. Dames Keith, welcome. We got a great show outlined today. Some great questions, and we hope that everyone will receive the questions well. I want to maybe bring the television, just the screen, just a little bit closer, so to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to see the screen as well as hear the question. Just a little bit closer so that you all can be a part of Jeopardy Noir. So it's been raining these last couple of days here in South Florida. So it kind of helped with people staying socially distant during the Memorial Day weekend. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome to have you. It is Lynn White. All right. Welcome so much. It's been helping with the social distancing, keeping people indoors, but it only gonna last for so long because I know people are rearing and ready to run down to the beach. But we're going to stay socially distanced. The Black Archives History and Research Foundation here is providing you with some resources so that you can stay inside as well as be educated and entertained. We entertain to educate. So we're glad to have you here for this week's Jeopardy Noir. I invite you again to tell a friend to tell a friend. I know a lot of people are now transitioning back to their workplaces. So, as things begin to come to a close on the quarantining, we just want to continue to pray for everyone's safety. And so our audience is getting smaller. But I'm telling you right now, if you would go on Instagram and you would just press the send button, press that little airplane, and let your friends know. Don't treat us like you treat your church. You don't let your friends know that you go to church. So, but at least let your friends know that you're participating in something educational and something that's very entertaining. So definitely, please invite your friend to come on and see, can they hang with you? So right at this time, in this moment, press that little airplane button and just go down the line and press send. See how many friends can you get on this Jeopardy Noir party. Facebook is a little bit different on doing that. I don't know if you can share it to your page. I think there's a possibility to do some sharing on it. Let me check one thing here. Want to verify that that everyone can hear me correctly. I'm using some microphones here. Just anyone can give me a thumbs up saying yes, we can hear you and hear you clearly. That will be great. Any thumbs up from Facebook will be great. A thumbs up from Instagram, letting me know. Hello, Bluebell. Thank you for joining us. Any thumbs up? Okay, thank you, Miss Lynn, for letting me know on Instagram that you hear me well. Facebook, Mr. Samuels, if you're able to hear me, please let me know. Like I said, I'm using some microphones. Okay, she said hello. Can anyone on Facebook just let me know that you can't hear me before we get started? Oh, I'm sorry. Shell Brown from Maryland. I forgot. I did not scroll up on Facebook. So Shell Brown is in from Maryland. Maryland, Shell Brown, welcome. Thank you, Ms. Samuels, for that hands up. Heads up on everything. Listen, everybody is aware we are the Black Archives History Research Foundation of South Florida, the repository for the Black experience in Miami from 1896 to present. We hold a lot of the information in Miami that talks about the contributions of Blacks to establishing Miami. And as well, I just was sharing with one of my colleagues this morning on the tragic incident that unfolded, if you're not aware of, in, I believe it's Minnesota, I think it's, was it Minneapolis? What has unfolded in that area is very tragic. And it brings me back to when I was listening to the late Dr. Lowry, Joseph Lowry, speak, and one thing he said that was so profound to me when I was in Birmingham, he said this statement here: if you don't know where you come from, you will never know when they're trying to take you back. And that is so profound in that statement, as we are seeing this brutality against people of color. I know you didn't come on today for this, but as the Black Archives, we have to make a statement to the injustice that has transpired here and continues to transpire with in regards to how Blacks are being treated in America. You know, lends the question to where's the human decency? Forget where's Americans, because Americans, we know historically their fight has always been fighting, but just the common human decency that is afforded to each and every one of us, each and other, is a major problem. And we probably will be coming out with a statement at some point regarding that fact, just human decency, respect for human beings, whether you're white, black, Hispanic, brown, whatever you may be. Just common human decency it should be afforded to everyone, no matter what. But with that being said, we're going to get started here and just wish our best for that region and as well as the country itself. So definitely, are you ready for Jeopardy Noir? Are you ready? Are you ready? Is everybody ready? All right, let's see, make sure we got everybody on. We're losing people, but that's fine. We're excited. Again, I invite you to tell a friend about Jeopardy Noir. Okay, so we're going to get started. Let's see who has the juice. Who has the juice? We're moving on. We're going to our first question. And our first question is, who became the first African American to win an Olympic gold medal at the Winter Games? Who became the first African American to win an Olympic gold medal at the Winter Olympics? Not the Summer Olympics, the Winter Olympics. We're going to get our music on and see who became the first African American to win an Olympic gold medal at the Winter Games. Give you a couple of more minutes. I don't know if we have a lag. Jocelyn, you can let me know if there's a lag going on, but we got more Facebook people on than Instagram this day. So definitely, we're waiting. Who became the first African American to win an Olympic gold medal at the Winter Games? All right. We spent some time on that question and we will move on. The answer to this question, your Google fingers are not fast enough. Vonetta Flowers. Vonetta Flowers. She won, the first Black to win an Olympic medal at the Winter Games. And this was in Salt Lake City in 2002. Vonetta Flowers, the Winter Games, Olympics. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on to the next question. No one got that one. I think I got some real ones for you today. So let's see how well you can hold on. This actor and concert musician graduated first in his class at Rutgers University, and received a law degree from Columbia University. Again, this actor and concert musician graduated first in his class at Rutgers University and received a law degree from Columbia University. Who is this person? Our music is going. This actor and concert musician graduated first in his class at Rutgers University and received a law degree from Columbia University. Who is this person? We're going to give you a couple of minutes here. Get those Google fingers running. We're going to give you a couple of more seconds to Google. All right, it's Lynn White on Instagram. You are close, a little misspelling, but we're going to take that. Connie Kennard, we have our answer. Hello, Connie. Great to have you back here today. Connie Kennard has the answer correctly on Facebook. It's Lynn White has the answer correctly on Instagram. And who is Paul Robeson? Who is Paul Robeson? Yes, Paul Robeson. We'll take that misspelling. It's Lynn. We'll take that, Connie Kennard. Paul Robeson is our answer. All right, we're ready to move on. Look like we have a party here today. We're going on to the next question. Who was the first African-American female astronaut? Who was the first African-American female astronaut? Get those Google fingers running. Who was the first African-American female astronaut? And amazingly, we have a liftoff that's supposed to take place later on this afternoon. We're anticipating. So after, all right, Connie Kennard on Facebook. Connie Kennard on Facebook has the answer. I am Christine B has the answer on Instagram. I am Christine B and Miss Connie Kennard, and that answer is Dr. Mae Jemison. Dr. Mae Jemison. That is the answer, correct answer. And we're getting ready to see a liftoff of astronauts going back into space. So we're excited about that. And let's move on to our next question that we have before us. Who was the first Black Miss America? And all of you guys should be. I'm not even going to start the music on this one. Who was the first Black Miss American? Hello, Miss Brandon. Good to have you. Earl to Pearl, I see you have joined us. A Florida A&M drum majors on the line. Thank you, Javo, for coming in. Who was the first? Come on, everybody. Black Miss America. We're not going to start the music on this one. Who was the first Black Miss America? We have our answer on Instagram. We have our answer. Oscar JB1 have our answer on Instagram. We're seeing if anybody on Facebook want to jump on with this particular answer. Facebook, I don't know if it's a lag. We have our answer, Oscar JB1. Who do we have? Oscar JB1 on Instagram. Facebook, who do we have? We're down to 4. All right, we have our answer for Connie Kennard on Facebook. The answer is Vanessa Williams. Oscar JB1, thank you for that answer. As well as Connie Kennard on Facebook. Thank you for your answer. We're moving on to the next question. We're moving rather fast today. Who was the first Black boxer to hold the heavyweight championship longer than a decade? Who was the first Black boxer to hold the heavyweight championship longer than a decade? And I'm quite sure you can make this guess on this one. You don't need Google for this one. I know many of you. This particular boxer spent a lot of time here in Miami as well. All right, Instagram, we have our answer. Oscar JB1 is moving. We're going to stop the music and give Facebook just a little bit of time. We have our answer on Instagram. Do we have an answer on Facebook? I'm sorry, that's not the answer. We are still waiting to get that answer. We are still waiting for the answer on Facebook. Do we have an answer on Facebook? We have our Instagram answer by Oscar Brandon. Do we have our answer on Facebook? Who was the first Black boxer to hold a heavyweight championship longer than a decade? Going once on Facebook. Going twice. And our answer for this one today goes to Joe Louis. Joe Louis is our answer. The first Black heavyweight to hold the belt longer than a decade. a decade. Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber. That's right, Oscar Brandon. It was the Brown Bomber who spent a lot of time here in Colored Town at the time. It was called Colored Town. We have pictures of Joe Louis in his young years standing with Mr. Sawyer in front of the Mary Elizabeth, and we also have we have pictures of him in his older years. Lewis is spelled wrong. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. That was a little typo again. We are typing backwards in order for you to see the screen. This actually behind me again is in reverse, so I'm learning to type in reverse in order to get the answers, but I'm missing letters here and there, so my apologies for that. Who was the first black attorney general? Who was the first black attorney general? I'm proud that I was, well, I won't give you the timeline. I'll wait. I'll give you some time to answer. The first black attorney general. What was this person's name? Giving you a little time. Who was the first black attorney general? Oscar JB1 has our answer on Instagram. Oscar JB1 has the answer on Instagram. Facebook, we're going to give you a little time with the lag that we have. Facebook, we're going to give you just a little bit of time to catch up. Oscar JB1 has that answer in first. Connie Kennard has the answer in for Facebook, and that answer is Eric Holder. That answer is Eric Holder. Had a great opportunity to, when I attended a wedding of Michelle Obama's chief of staff, Eric Holder was there, along with Michelle Obama and the girls. The girls were there. Obama wasn't there because the security would have been a lot tighter than it was. But yes, Eric Holder. Eric Holder. Our next question that we have, here we go. The first U.S. postage stamp to honor a black American was. The first U.S. postage stamp to honor a black American was. The first U.S. postage stamp to honor a black American was. All right, we have our answer on Instagram. We have our answer on Instagram. Facebook. Do we have an answer on Facebook? The first U.S. postage stamp to honor a black American was. Give you a little time for the lag. The first U.S. postage stamp to honor a black American was what? Facebook. We only have 2 people left on Facebook. Okay, we're going to move on. That answer was Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington. That's the answer. Booker T. Washington was the first African American to adorn a United States stamp. Booker T. Washington. All right. We have our answer. All right. And founder and first president of Tuskegee. Thank you, Oscar Brandon. Yes, thank you so much. Booker T. Washington was our answer. I don't know whether that was lagged out. Hopefully my staff on Facebook can let me know whether that answer came in before we revealed the answer. Let's move on to the next question. The next question here on our Jeopardy Noir. The first organization to come out openly against slavery. What was the first organization to come out openly against slavery? What were the first organization to come out openly against slavery? And very interesting enough, and we always, history, we always have to make it relevant. For some people, we make history relevant. And, you know, when you think about somebody coming out against something that's unjust, it takes a lot to do. And we have the tendency in the most recent years to ostracize those that stand up for what is right and those that kneel down for what is right. And sometimes I like to ask myself, what will Dr. Martin Luther King do today? Who would ostracize him? Ostracize him for standing up? Who would today ostracize Rosa Parks for taking a seat on the bus? Who would ostracize Marcus Garvey for the things he said? And interesting enough, We all have ostracized Colin Kaepernick, who has took a stance on this injustice that we've just witnessed this week. So, but who was the first organization to come out openly against slavery? We're going to give it about 10 seconds. No, wasn't that group, Connie? Wasn't that group? There was a social group. Somebody on Instagram is saying the same thing. This was an organization. That's a religious group. This is an organization. We're looking for a religious group. I'm going to give it a couple of more seconds, and let's educate you on this group that was the first to come out openly, meaning I'm going to raise my hand. I'm going to take a knee for this. And the answer for this is the Society of Friends. Look them up. The Society of Friends was the first organization to come out publicly against slavery, not just say it around the corner. It's the Society of Friends, the Society of Friends. We're moving on. Moving on to the next question. Who was the first black NFL head coach to win the Super Bowl? Who was the first black NFL head coach to win the Super Bowl? We're going to start the music on this one because I think that we might have a delay in people responding to this one, because you're going to think all over the place then what is actually relevant and evident. Who was the first black head coach Who was the first black head coach? All right, we have our answer, Earl to Pearl. We'll take that as an answer. We have our answer on Instagram. Do we have an answer on Facebook? Facebook, we're waiting to hear. Who was the first black NFL head coach to win the Super Bowl? Lynn Whitfield. Welcome, Lynn Whitfield. We have our answer on Facebook as well. We have our answer, and that answer is Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy, the Indianapolis Colts. That's in recent history, in the last 15 or so years, quite possibly, if my memory serves me correct, but it was Tony Dungy. We're moving on. We're moving on to our next question. Who was the escaped slave who became a famous speaker and abolitionist? Who was the escaped slave who became a famous speaker and abolitionist? Who was an escaped slave to become a famous speaker and abolitionist? Oscar JB1 have our answer on Instagram. Oscar JB1 has the answer on Instagram. Do we have an answer on Facebook? Who was the escaped slave who became a famous speaker and abolitionist? All right, Lynn Whitfield has come in with our answer on Instagram, and that answer is Fredrick Douglas. That answer is Frederick Douglas. Oscar JB1 and Lynn Whitfield, thank you for your answer. We're moving on to our next question. The music group Parliament played what type of music? The music group Parliament played what type of music? The music group Parliament played what type of music? This should be a very quick one that comes about. I should see answers popping up. All right, Miss Brandon. Miss Brandon, she got you. Mr. Brandon, she got you. Connie Kennard, welcome for that answer on Facebook. Miss Brandon, fingers were a lot faster than you, Mr. Brandon. That music is funk. Connie Kennard on Facebook and Patricia Brandon on Instagram. All right, the Funkadelic. That's right. We're going to boogie it up. Yes. We're waiting on our next question. Our next question. Are you ready? The next question is, how many gold medals did Jesse Owens win in the 1936 Olympics? How many gold medals did Jesse Owens win in the 1936 Olympics? How many gold medals? How many gold medals? Oh, Oscar Brandon, yes, we have our answer on Instagram already. Do we have an answer on Facebook? How many gold medals did Jesse Owens win in the 1936 Olympics? That's a great number, Earl. That's a great number. You know that number is oh, it's great. I didn't put that up for Facebook. I'm sorry. How many? Lynn Whitfield came in with our answer on Facebook, and the answer is 4. 4 gold medals. We're moving on to our next question. In 1867, this university was founded in Washington, D.C. In 1867, this university was founded in Washington, D.C. All right, Oscar Brandon said the 100 meter, the 200 meter, the 4x100, and the long jump. Ebby Queen 1 have an answer on Instagram. Ebby Queen 1 has answered on Instagram. Do we have a Facebook answer? Ebby Queen 1 on Instagram. Do we have an answer on Facebook? Facebook. We're going once on Facebook. We're going twice. All right, Connie Kennard answered quickly. She got an answer in, and that answer is Howard University. Howard University. And essentially, so just a little history. Florida A&M University and Howard University played in the first Orange Blossom Classic. It was held in Jacksonville, and it started by way of the athletic director from Howard moved over to FAMU, and he wanted to start a game between Howard and FAMU that would hold and remain for years to come, and that game was Florida A&M and Howard University in Jacksonville, where they played the Orange Blossom Classic. The Orange Blossom Classic, which is returning here to Miami. We're moving on to some more, another question. All right, here we go. La Tribune was the first black daily newspaper in the U.S. published in what city? The La Tribune was the first black daily newspaper in the U.S. published in what city? What city was the La Tribune published? What city? The La Tribune. Y'all excuse me, I'm a little parched. Ebby Queen 1 has our answer on Instagram. Ebby Queen 1, thank you for your answer. Do we have an answer on Facebook? The La Tribune is the first black daily newspaper in what U.S. city? Going once, Facebook. Going twice, Facebook. Going twice. The answer is New Orleans. New Orleans is the answer. La Tribune was published in New Orleans. New Orleans, for us that are Cajun. All right, we're moving on. Who became known as the Queen of Soul in the late 60s? Come on now. Who became known as the Queen of Soul in the late 1960s? Come on, you music people, you party animals, y'all know this. Who became known as the Queen of Soul in the late 60s? We have our answer. Miami Gardens Down. Miami Gardens Down chimed in on Instagram. Do we have anybody on Facebook? What happened to Connie Kennard? Did we lose you, Connie? Connie Kennard, I spoke up. Connie Kennard have an answer on Facebook. The answer is Aretha. Aretha Franklin is the answer. The answer is Aretha Franklin. We are moving on. This is a good one for you. I got one. Let me get my music queued up real quick because I know it's going to be a little difficult. I don't know who might know this information. You might have to be a hipster to kind of know this one. What was the name of the black businessman who originated the term the real McCoy? What was the name of the black businessman who originated the term the real McCoy? What was his name? I need a first name. What was the name of the black businessman who originated the term the real McCoy? The real McCoy. The black businessman who originated the term the real McCoy. Lynn Whitfield, thank you for the answer. Ebby Queen, thank you for your answers. The answers are in. The answers are in, and that name is Elijah McCoy. Elijah McCoy. Lynn Whitfield and Abby Queen. Lynn Whitfield on Facebook, Abby Queen on Instagram. Has the answer is in. Elijah McCoy is the real McCoy. Moving on. Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable founded what U.S. city? Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable founded what U.S. city? Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable founded what U.S. city? I know their answer should be pouring in. Abby Queen, have our answer on Instagram. Abby Queen, have an answer on Instagram. Do we have an answer on Facebook? Jean-Baptiste Point du Sable founded what U.S. city? All right, Connie Kennard, we have our answer. Abby Queen, Connie Kennard, that answer is Chicago. And we just want to shout out our sister organization, Du Sable Museum in Chicago. Wonderful place to visit if you're in the area. So it was the city of Chicago. We're moving on to our next question. Andrew Young was the first black U.S. ambassador to what? Andrew Young was the first black U.S. ambassador to Andrew Young. Oscar JB1 has the answer on Instagram. Oscar JB1 has the answer on Instagram. Do we have an answer on Facebook? We are still waiting. Andrew Young was the first black U.S. ambassador to what? Facebook. We have an answer on Instagram by Oscar JB1. Do we have an answer on Facebook? I'm going to stop our music. Facebook, we're going once. We're going twice. And Connie Kennard came in at the last second with the answer on Facebook. The United Nations. Yes, the United Nations. Thank you so much for that. Here's our next question. In 2002, what athlete became the youngest golfer to win 8 PGA major titles? 2002, what athlete became the youngest golfer to win 8 PGA major titles? I'm not going to turn the music on for this one. Abby Queen won on Instagram. Thank you for the answer. We're waiting on Facebook. Facebook, do we have that answer? Abby Queen 1 was a little faster, Mr. Brennan. Facebook, are we delayed, Facebook? 8 PGA titles. Going once. She said, pass the bar. Asil Yad. Okay. 2002, what athlete became the youngest golfer to win 8 PGA major titles? We're going to make it easy for you. The answer to this is Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is the answer. Connie came in with the answer. I don't know if it was before we switched over, but I have staff that's watching. They'll let us know if your answer came in before we posted the answer. Great, great, great. Tiger Woods, y'all. All right. I don't know if you enjoyed the mixed match that they just recently had for charity. We are moving on. Here's our next question. Brown versus the Board of Education, ending segregation in public schools is associated with what city? Brown versus the Board of Education. Brown versus the Board of Education, ending segregation in public schools is associated with what city? Brown versus the Board of Education is associated with what city? All right, I am Christine B. I am Christine B. I am Christine B has the answer on Instagram. Do we have an answer on? All right, we have our answer. Connie Kennard is ripping up everybody on Facebook at this time. Connie Kennard is ripping up everybody, and our answer, I am Christine B. And Connie Kennard correctly stated Topeka, Kansas is the city that it originated from and went on to the Supreme Court that changed everything across the United States in terms of education. But still, you wonder, like Joseph Laurie said, if you don't know where you come from, you'll never know when they're trying to take you back. And on some levels, we are being taken back in terms of education for people of color across the United States. Moving on. What year was the March on Washington for some of you people? What year? What year was the march? Hello, I see you, Neeham. Thank you, Neeham. Great. Thank you for joining us. What year was the March on Washington? What year was the March on Washington? What year? Come on now. All right, Oscar JB1, you got your answer in, Oscar JB1. I don't know if anybody was there that participated. Please shout out that you were there, that you made the trip. But what year was the March on Washington? We have our answer on Instagram, Oscar JB1. Do we have our answer on Facebook? What year was the March on Washington? What year was the March on Washington? What year? We're here. What year was the March on Washington? Earl the Pearl said the 60s. Can't remember. What year was the March on Washington? Not yet. Not quite a seal yet. You off by a few years. Oh, Oscar said he was 9. Okay. Well, you're not that old, but not there. He was 9, but not there. All right. So I would have pegged that you was that old, Fred. But what year? What year was the March on Washington? Anybody? We're waiting. Facebook. Asil Yard came in with a year. She's off by a few years. Want to give her a second just to correct that. What year? Going once? Going twice. Is that Lisa Day? Oh, I'm reading it backwards. Yeah. Okay, that's cute. I'm just realizing you got your name backwards. Lisa Day. All right. Connie came in and stole the answer from Lisa Day. The answer is 1963. I wasn't around, but if anybody that was there that participated in this great movement, kudos and congratulations to you, and thank you for everything that you did to help us get where we are today, even though they're trying to take us back. Moving on. Which state was the first to legally abolish slavery? Which state was the first to legally abolish slavery? Which state? And somebody from staff, please give me a time check. I want to leave at least 4 minutes or 3 minutes to do some dialogue. What state was the first to legally abolish slavery? Let's get the music going. I don't think you guys got it. Y'all Google. Boom, 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 boom. No, not quite. Ebby Queen, Oscar, not quite. What state was the first to legally abolish slavery? Thank you, KPC, for that time check. What state was the first to legally abolish slavery? Still waiting on that answer. We're going to give it about 10 seconds, and we're going to move on. 10 seconds, and we're going to move on. What state was all right? Connie Kennard on Facebook. Facebook came in before Instagram. Facebook, we're going to stop the music. We're going to give it about 10 seconds for Instagram. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Look like Connie Kennard is the only one that's going to get this answer, and the answer is Vermont. Every Queen, I don't know if it came in before we switched, got the answer. Somebody can check that from staff, but the answer is Vermont. Thank you, Connie Kennard. We know slavery in the North was really, the truth is, it was not successful majorly because how you doing, Broward? Because the industry was a little different. Agriculture was not a major cash flow. Okay, we're going to welcome Ebby Queen for that answer. Staff said it did come in at the time. She got it. All right, Connie Kennard, Ebby Queen, Vermont. Here we go. Who was the 6-year-old who became the first black child to desegregate a white school in America? Who was the 6-year-old who became the first black child to desegregate a white school in America? The first black child to desegregate a white school in America. Ebby Queen will take that answer. Ebby Queen is right on point. Ebby Queen, we're going to give extra credit to I Am Christine B, who came in second with the full name on Instagram. Do we have this answer on Facebook? Who was the 6-year-old? All right, Connie Kennard, we'll give that answer here, and we'll give a special shout out to Lee Tony, H. Lee Tony, for giving us the full name. And that answer is Ruby Bridges. Yes, the answer is Ruby Bridges. Ruby Bridges. So thank you so much for that. We're moving on. We're moving on. This is an easy one. It should only take about a second to get through this next question. Black History Month was first observed by Black historian. Black History Month was first observed by what Black historian? What Black historian? And Oscar Brainer said New Orleans, in New Orleans. Yes, New Orleans. What Black historian was the first to observe Black History Month? Lee Tony, Oscar J. Oh no, Ebby Queen won. Ebby Queen won, and Lee Tony has that answer. Ebby Queen 1 came in before Oscar Brainen. Lee Tony, thank you so much. That answer is Carter G. Woodson. Let's make it just a little bit harder real quick. We're going to begin to wrap this up. Name the first African-American woman elected to the U.S. Senate in 1992. Name the first African-American woman elected to the U.S. Senate in 1992. And we see that the pressure is on the Democratic nominee for presidency, Joe Biden, to bring on a female as vice president. Many people are pushing for him to bring on an African-American woman. We're going to see what happens with that. But this African-American woman was the first to elect it. And that answer is in. Lee Tony, H. Lee Tony, has the answer on Facebook. Instagram, Facebook is coming back with a vengeance on getting this information in. We're waiting right now. Is that you are close? We're going to give it to I Am Christine B. We're going to give it to I Am Christine B. And Lee Tony came in with the answer, and that answer is Carol Mosley Braun, the Democratic Party in Illinois. Carol Mosley Braun. Listen, Braun, let's move on real quick. Let's play a little game. Let's see how good you guys are at amendments. We're going to run these very quickly. Which amendment says African Americans are citizens? Which amendment says that African Americans are citizens? Which amendment? I just need a number. I need a number. Somebody come in with that number real quick. Which amendment says that African Americans are citizens? Which amendment says African Americans are citizens? H. Lee Tony has the answer on Facebook. H. Lee Tony has the answer on Facebook. We're going to move on. Instagram has not answered it yet. And that answer is the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment says that African Americans are citizens. Moving on. Name the slave that argued before the U.S. Supreme Court for his freedom prior to Civil War, and he lost. Name the slave that argued before the U.S. Supreme Court for his freedom prior to the Civil War and lost. What was that name? Ebby Queen. Ebby Queen, fix it. Ebby Queen, quick, fix it. Fix it. We have an answer. H. Lee Tony on Facebook. Are you going to fix it? Or somebody going to steal it? Is somebody going to steal it from Ebby Queen? Ebby Queen came back and fixed it. She said, Fred Scott is Dred Scott. I knew what you were trying to say. I just wanted to make sure the Dred Scott decision. Yes, it was. Moving on very quickly to the next question. Name the federal holiday celebrated on the third Monday in January every year. Name the federal holiday celebrated on the third Monday in January every year. Name that federal holiday that is celebrated on the third Monday every year. Someone come on real quick and give us that. Emma. Oh, yes. Needham. H. Lee Tony has the answer, and Needham has the answer. Yes, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Now, here we go. We're going back to the amendments. Get ready. Which amendment allows African-American citizens to vote? Which amendment allows for African-American citizens the right to vote? KPZ say don't sing. You know, every third Monday on January, we celebrate the man who paved the way for freedom, justice, and equality. Which amendment? Which amendment? Come on, somebody. Give me that amendment. Ebby Queen 1 has the answer on Instagram. We're waiting for the answer on Facebook. We're moving Ebby Queen 1. Ebby Queen 1 going on Instagram. That answer is the 15th Amendment. It is the 15th Amendment. The 15th Amendment. Hester Samuels, check the time to see that she get that one in. The 15th Amendment. Moving on. Name the American abolitionist who published the North Star newspaper. Name the American abolitionist who published the North Star newspaper. If anybody was watching our tour on last week, we went by this school that was named after this particular individual. Who published it? All right, Needham has the answer. H. Lee Tony has the answer. Fredrick Douglas, Needham, and H. Lee Tony have that answer. Moving on. Here we go. Which amendment ends slavery? Which amendment ended slavery? Hester Samuels, they say, got it. Let's see, Hester Samuels. Oh, Hester Samuels. Yes, I'm sorry, Hester Samuels, you did get it. I apologize. Hester Samuels won on Facebook. All right, we have our answer. Needham. Needham has the answer on Instagram. Needham has the answer on Instagram. I see you, Lisa Day. Connie Kennard have our answer on Facebook, and that is the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment. We're moving fast. We're moving fast. Name the first African American appointed as justice to the United States Supreme Court. The first African American that was appointed as a justice to the United States Supreme Court. Thank you, Bosch Misha, for joining us late in the hour, but you're here. Name the first African American appointed as the justice. All right, Needham has our answer, and Lisa Day, your answer was fine. Needham, H. Lee Tony. H. Lee Tony has the answer, and the answer is Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood Marshall. Yes. Moving on. Our last question for today. Our last question for today. What document did Abraham Lincoln issue that freed the slaves? What document that Abraham issued that freed the slaves? What document? What is the name of the document? It's a lot of typing. A lot of typing. What is, he said the first and the last. I agree with you on that one, Oscar Brandon. I agree with you on that one. All right, Ebby Queen 1, we'll give you that. You will take your shorthand on that. Connie Kennard, we'll take your shorthand on this answer. And the answer is the Emancipation Proclamation. The Emancipation Proclamation. Listen, if you enjoyed it, we're thankful. We're thankful. We want to thank our sponsors that always are sponsoring the Black Archives. That's the Southeast Overtown Park West Community Redevelopment Agency. We want to thank the Simpkins Family Foundation for the support that they have lended to us. We want to thank Miami-Dade County in the financial support that we received. We want to thank the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau for always remaining a partner with the Black Archives on many levels to bring back activity to the community in which we operate out of. Friday, I'm very interested in doing black cards on Friday. The weather seems like it's up and down. So we may, at 12 o'clock on Friday, instead of doing virtual tours, we may bring the black cards back. So if you're able to join us on Friday at 12 noon, you don't want to miss black card. It's a test of your black knowledge. So we like to educate, entertain as we educate. And the Black Cards edition of our Jeopardy Noir does that. It tests your black card. So it's a very fun show. A little different in terms of how we operate it, but the questions make you go, So this Friday, join us. We probably, instead of a virtual field trip, we're probably going to bring the black cards in. The winner on Facebook is Connie Kennard. Welcome, Connie Kennard. Let's give a hand to Connie Kennard. I don't have my winner for Instagram from staff yet. They'll let me know if we're still on. Lisa Day, thank you so much. Connie said, I am black, but I like the sound of music. All right, so let's definitely, we're going to do something interesting with the black cards on Friday. at 12 noon. Join us. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Grab your popcorn. Grab your drink. Oscar JB1 is our winner on Instagram. Oscar JB1, congratulations. Listen, tell a friend. Thank you so much, Lee Tony, for coming on Miami Gardens Now. Please mix up the music, not so much rap. Miami Gardens Now say mix up the music. We're going to mix it up. It's going to be interesting because we have some amazing questions on this Black Card edition that's going to come out on Friday. Grab your popcorn, grab your friends, tell your friends to come join us as we do the Black Card edition on Friday. Oscar JB1 said he forfeited his prize today. We do have these keepsakes that once staff come back, we're going to get these things in the mail to people that have been participating in this and winning. So we're going to be mailing out some things to you. Thank you so much that you're supporting us for our Safer at Home series. Continue to stay safe. Continue to stay on point. Don't worry about it, Nina Ham. Sorry, misspelled the handle. It's fine. You're good. We appreciate everybody coming in. Please join us tomorrow as Louis Berthen, our assistant archivist, comes on and talk about legacies and profiles in Black Miami. I'll be back on Friday. We're going to do a special edition of Jeopardy Noir at 12 noon. It's a different time. 12 noon. Join us at 12 noon. And Friday night, we're back at Lyric Live. We have Lyric Live, the living room edition. As we begin to open up and things begin to open up, please remember to stay safe. Please remember to stay socially distant because we still don't know what the outcome of this potential virus is and what it could become. We don't want to be the test, the petri dish for testing on how this disease will react. So save yourself, stay away as much as possible. And we're going to continue to pray for our brothers that are out there being affected by this police brutality, as well as black on black violence, as well as peer pressuring bullying. We have an incident where a young man lost his life from drowning because he was trying to impress and take a dare from friends and family to swim across a lake. Peer pressure and bullying is not necessary. Black on black violence is not necessary. And of course, brutality against blacks. Young lady in New York really trying to weaponize the police department by saying she was being harassed, attacked by African American. We're faced with this thing, and like the late Reverend Joseph Larry told me in Birmingham, if you don't know where you come from, you will never know when they're trying to take you back. I am a man. I am a man. Thank you so much. Enjoy.